This poor Lazarus recognized Abraham. This poor Lazarus ended up in Hades, meaning separated from God. And what is the true death? What is the literal death? Is when the spirit separates from its creator. When the spirit separates from God, that is the actual death. When the spirit departs from the body, that is a biological death. It is transition. That is not called death, because everybody tastes this biological death. All of us one day, may God bless you and give you a very long life, but one day I must leave this world. I have to die physically. This is not death, it is only a transition from one realm to another, from a physical, tangible realm to a spiritual, eternal realm, whether in paradise or in Hades. But the true death is when my spirit separates from God. That is the true death. Now, this rich man was definitely dead to the core, because he was in Hades in total separation from God. Yet the Lord reveals the secret which we haven't seen as yet, to come back and say it. The Lord reveals it through this parable, that even though he was in total separation from the Almighty God, definitely dead, burning in Hades, but definitely was not dead in the sense some of us think of what death is all about. They think when a person dies, everything comes to a full halt, full end. No. Death is just separated from God, but you live in torment. You never die. And to prove it, he recognized Abraham. Guess what? This rich man never seen Abraham, for a simple fact. Abraham would have been at least 1900 to 2000 years prior to this rich man's coming to this earth. Abraham is 2000 years before him. So he's never seen Abraham. How did you recognize Abraham, rich man? Oh, looks like in the next life we recognized a lot of people that we've never seen in our entire life. Secondly, he recognized Lazarus. He remembered seeing him at his front door every day. He called out to Abraham, send Lazarus. Now, how did this rich man recognize Abraham, recognize Lazarus, and remembered he had 5 brothers on earth? Send Lazarus to my brothers, lest they come to where I am in torment. How did you remember all these things, dear friend? Only tells us one thing. Saint Paul, in his epistle to Thessalonians, 1 Thessalonians 5:23, he says the human being is made out of body, soul, and spirit. He states that very clearly. So we are made out of body, soul, and spirit. There is a difference between the spirit and the soul. Even though in the Old Testament, the Hebrew language or the Aramaic language which I speak, sometimes our church fathers, when they refer to the soul, they mean the spirit, or when they refer to the spirit, they mean the soul. Yet they are so close, but totally different, my beloved, because St. Paul says we are made out of 3 components: body, soul, and spirit. What makes the soul are 5 things. What makes up the soul are 5 things. 1, the subconscious mind. 2, the conscious mind. 3, the will. 4, the thought. 5, feelings and emotions. That's what makes up the soul. Subconscious, conscious, will, thought, feelings and emotions. What is the subconscious? Literally the hard drive of your computer, where you store every single information you came across in your life on earth. The subconscious is your storage hard drive. So since I was conceived in my mother's womb till the day I was buried in my mother nature's womb, the grave, everything I gained throughout that journey, it is stored in the subconscious mind that is part of the soul. For this rich man to realize and remember that he's got 5 brothers, recognizes Lazarus, that means the soul was present with the spirit. What never dies is the spirit and the soul. What dies is this physical body. That's what dies. Came from the earth, goes back to the earth. As some call it, dust to dust, ashes to ashes. But what never dies is the spirit and the soul. That's why he could remember. Because the soul is present. So from the parable of the Lord, there is no death. We remember people. And what was weird and ironic out of all, he is praying. The man in Hades, dead, is praying and begging our father Abraham to send Lazarus to help his brothers on earth. He is interceding. If the one in Hades, dead, intercedes for his brothers, how much more are those who are in paradise, saints, sons to the Almighty God, how much more are they alive and interceding for all of us, my beloveds? That's what our belief as apostolic church, whether you are Catholic or Orthodox, apostolic belief that is embedded in biblical truth. There is definitely the intercession of saints, according to this parable, and many other places. No time for it right now, but I will tell you later. So there is intercession of saints. If sinners are interceding, how much more the saints who are truly living in the presence of the source of life, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Abraham, when you go to the original language, when you come to Aramaic or Syriac, it's getting a bit harder now. I think it's my presence. When you go to the Aramaic language or Syriac language, you will realize what Abraham stands for. His name was Abram when he was in Mesopotamia, Iraq, Babylon, the country I come from. Yo, baby. God, the Assyrians, baby. Just kidding. Not. So when Abraham was in Babylon, Assyria, Mesopotamia, between the 2 rivers, Tigris and Euphrates, his name was Abram. And Abram in Aramaic is made out of 4 letters. 4 Aramaic alphabetical letters. Alab, A, Beth, B, Resh, R, and Mim, M. Abram. That was his name. So when you go to the original text, the language, you'll understand. So his name was Abram, made out of 4 letters. When God spoke to him in the land of Mesopotamia, Iraq, he said to him, leave your country, leave your family, leave your homeland, and come, I'll show you the promised land that brings out honey and milk, which is Jerusalem. And by the way, Jerusalem on earth is symbolic for the heavenly Jerusalem that lasts forever. But the one on earth is only temporal.